John Adams was born in Braintree, now Quincy, Massachusetts, on October 30th of 1735. His father was a modest but successful farmer and local office holder. After some initial reluctance, Adams entered Harvard and received his bachelor's degree in 1755. For about a year, he taught school in Worcester, Massachusetts, of the United States, and the first vice president, and also helped in the early years of the Republic as a lawyer, writer, congressman, and public speaker. As president, he kept the country at peace when many were calling for war with France. He later described his peace decision as the most splendid diamond in my crown. To give some thought to entering the ministry, Adams decided to study law instead. While developing his legal practice, he participated in town affairs and contributed essays to the Boston newspapers. In 1764, he married Abigail Smith of Weymouth, Massachusetts, and had John Quincy Adams, who was also president, Abigail Adams Smith, Thomas Boylston, Charles Adams, and Susanna Adams. He was elected vice president in 1789 and served for 2 terms under President George Washington from 1789 to 1797. He was unhappy in his post. He felt that he lacked the authority to accomplish much. In 1797, despite a strong challenge from Thomas Jefferson and the choice of his own Federalist Party to run a candidate against him, Adams was elected as the second president of the United States. He was president from 1797 to 1801. The political party John Adams was a part of was the Federalist Party. This party was the first American political party from the early 1790s to 1816. The Federalists controlled the federal government until 1801. The party was led by John Adams, Alexander Hamilton, and John Marshall. The Federalist Party argued for a stronger federal government before the ratification of the Constitution. John Adams was a supporter in the Federalist Party because he believed in a strong central government. John Adams successfully defended British soldiers involved in the Boston Massacre, in which British Army soldiers fired at a Boston crowd on March 5th of 1770, killing 5 civilians and injuring 6 others. Despite his hostility towards the British government, Adams believed the soldiers should receive a fair trial. He successfully defended the British soldiers, with 6 of them being acquitted, while the other 2 receiving reduced sentences. Though the initial reaction of the American public to his action was hostile, later Adams' reputation was enhanced with people lauding him as a courageous and fair man. The issue that happened was the XYZ affair. It happened on October 18th of 1797, when 3 Americans who were sent to France by President John Adams to represent a U.S. peace commission were received coolly and then asked to pay a bribe in order to speak with French Foreign Minister Charles Maurice Talleyrand. This episode became known as the XYZ affair, after the French agents who met with the American delegation. The incident affected U.S. relations with France and damaged the Democratic Republican Party because of its traditional pro-French stance. June 28th, Jefferson completed a working rough draft, which was then edited by Adams and Benjamin Franklin, then by the entire committee. On June 28th, it was presented to Congress, which then made a number of other revisions. On July 4th, it was finished and independence was formally declared. A Philadelphia printer, John Dunlap, produced the first copies of the Declaration of Independence. They are now known as the Dunlap Broadside, and only 24 of these original copies are known to exist. July 4th of 1826, at the age of 90, Adams laid on his deathbed while the country celebrated Independence Day. He died of congestive heart failure. His last words were, "Thomas Jefferson still survives?" He was mistaken though. Jefferson had died 5 hours earlier at the Monticello at the age of 82.